Hi everyone, and welcome to this video lesson. This video talks about my classroom expectations. So let's kind of go ahead and get started. So first things first, I want you to know that Mr. Schwinger is kind of formal to me, and it makes me feel a little old. So please feel free to call me Mr. S or just Schwinger for that case. Now, if you've been in my classroom, you have probably realized that for the most part, I'm fairly easy to get along with, if we all follow the rules. But if not...
Dr. Banner. Now might be a really good time for you to get angry.
That's my secret, Captain. I'm always angry.
Now, I'm not saying that I'll turn into the Hulk if you make me angry, but I will tell you that I really don't get angry, I get frustrated, and frustration comes from unmet expectations. However, I realize that and I admit that when I express my frustration, it often comes across as anger, so I apologize in advance to that. All right, well, let's talk a little bit about my teaching philosophy. So my philosophy is, my goal is to give kids the tools and the skills to be successful in both their professional and their personal lives. And I kind of got this from a podcast I listened to one time with John Maxwell and Marcus Buckingham. And the question that they asked was, how do we best prepare kids for life? Well, I believe that my job as a teacher is not just to teach you business concepts, but also to prepare you for life outside of high school, which I'll refer to hereafter as the real world. So know that when I talk about the real world, I'm talking about life outside of high school. In the real world, it's not easy. It's challenging. It's hard. You may think that high school is hard. The real world is even harder. And in high school, there are rules and regulations, policies and procedures, expectations to do what you've been asked to do. The real world is just the same. There are rules and regulations, there are policies and procedures, and there are expectations that you will do what you are asked to do by your employer or agreed to do based on your job description. In my classroom, it's just the same. There are rules and regulations, policies and procedures, and the expectation that you'll do what you are asked to do. And really, by taking this class, you've essentially agreed to do the assignments that I'll be giving you. Now we're going to go over those rules, policies, and expectations shortly, but before that, let me tell you a little bit about myself. So, a little bit about me. So, I got my bachelor's degree in marketing from the University of Utah. I started teaching in 2021. Before that, my career was in retail and food service management. Now, I am from Colorado, but some other places that I lived other than Colorado include Australia, Montana, and California. A little bit more about me. My work experience includes JCPenney, Barnes & Noble, and Domino's. And my interests include my family, comics, sci-fi, and fantasy. I love music and I love singing, and I also love to travel and photography. Amateur photography is kind of one of my hobbies. Now, if you don't already know, you are currently sitting in a business class, and a class doesn't have to have the word business in it to fit in this category. Photoshop, multimedia, computers, finance, marketing, and more all have to do with the business field. Now, any business class you take will help prepare you for your future. You're going to be learning skills that you can use not only to function as an adult, but also to be successful in virtually any career. And since this is a business class, you should know that I like to run my classroom like a business. I'm the owner, you are the employees. And when it comes down to it, we have only one rule in this class, and that is simply respect. When you have respect and you act respectful, nothing else is an issue. So first off, respect yourself. Avoid self-negativity. Avoid profanity. Take care of your own belongings. When I talk about no self-negativity, avoid saying things like, I'm too stupid. And of course, Again, take care of your own belongings and avoid profanity. That's a big one for me. Next is respect your school. Follow the school rules. This includes IDs and the dress code, and I do enforce those in my classroom. And again, part of respecting your school is if it's not yours, don't touch it. Next is respect your teachers. Avoid complaining about what happened the hour before. And when I'm presenting, you should be listening, not talking. And finally, respect your peers. Avoid put-downs, leave any drama at the door, don't spread rumors. If you wouldn't be happy talking about it being said about you, then don't say it about others. And again, when a peer is presenting, you should be listening, not talking. Now, there are something called the foundational principles that I use in my classroom, and they are responsibility, integrity, knowledge, freedom, passion, opportunity, sound judgment, and win-win focus. These principles combined with markets equal a growth mindset, and that's what we're striving for. So, each day when you arrive, please remember no horseplay in the classroom. Remember that the time in between classes is your time. If you need to use the restroom or get a drink, this is the time to do it. When class starts, then you are on my time, not yours. Remember to put away your phone because you may only use it when you are directed. And check the board for any instructions for the day. Before you leave each day, please remember that dismissal is initiated by me, not the clock, not the bell, by me. Please remain in your seats by your seats until I dismiss you. And I will dismiss you by saying, make it a great day. And please remember also to put away your supplies, push in your chairs, and dispose of any trash before you leave. Now, let's talk about this employee thing. So as employees, you are subject to employee warnings. Okay, I relate it back to the real world. Now, when I was in the real world and I was running businesses, I had a 3-strike rule. Most businesses have something like that. When someone wasn't doing what they are supposed to or doing something they shouldn't be, I would give them a verbal warning, including a reminder to change their behavior. If they continued, then they would get a second written warning, could be given, again, with a reminder to change their behavior. In this case, it could be an email to your parents or to your guardians. If the behavior still continued, a third conversation would happen, followed by termination. Now, in my classroom, the same 3-strike rule exists, but I can't actually fire you, but I can call behavior. So if you are not doing what you are supposed to, or you're doing something that you shouldn't, I will give you a verbal warning with a reminder to change your behavior, followed by a written, followed by a call to behavior to remove you from class. And I encourage you to be prepared for that and decide how you are going to act. And be aware that the 3 strikes can occur all in the same day. Now, some things that might get you those warnings could be using or getting your cell phone without permission, being off task, or any behavioral issues. Again, as employees, you are also subject to employee bonuses. These are empowered dollars. This is our class currency. It can be used in our marketplace or auctions, and we'll talk more about those later on. But some things that can earn you those bonuses, really, it's any good deed. It's arriving on time. It's class group participation, excellent work on a project, helping a friend or a classmate, and going above and beyond. All those things can earn you the class currency. There's also employee evaluations. This is basically kind of a teacher conference. We will chat about missing work or your progress in the class. And at the end, we will develop a plan to stay on task and on track, and we both sign the paper. And this could be including things like your grades slipping, missing work, or at progress report time. Now, to let you know, this is a modern classroom. I'm not a big advocate. I don't believe in the traditional lecture style instruction. So I have like class activities or projects that come from Empowered. This is the same place that I get the class currency. But this Empowered curriculum has a lot of projects and activities. We'll do the project or the activity. It will be followed by a kind of a debrief discussion, basically a Q&A. I'll ask you questions, hopefully, and expect you to give some answers. I also combine that with some independent learning from something called MCP, or Modern Classroom Projects. It's basically blended instruction. You have access to teacher-created videos. I create those videos. They're anywhere from 3 to 8 minutes long, usually. After the video, if you watch the video, you get the content, then there's a related assignment to the content that's in the video. So it's a self-paced structure. You watch the video, you do the assignment on your own time, at your own pace. Following that, there could be a short quiz to determine mastery, which I consider 80%. And I'll talk about a little bit more about that in very shortly. Now, to let you know, I have high expectations for you. Critical thinking and problem solving is, I think, very important. It's very key. It's what is wanted in the real world today. So all of the assignments are designed to make you think critically and or to solve a problem. Now, to be honest, I'm going to be asking a lot from you, and some of it may not be easy. And because I'm going to be asking a lot of you, I can almost guarantee that there's going to be times where you don't like me. You might even hate me. You're going to think I'm mean. In fact, I can hear it now. This is too much. Mr. S, why do you give us so much work? Bruh, you're so extra right now. Well, I'm okay with that. I'll remind you now that I consider it part of my job to prepare you for the real world, and the real world is hard. It might sound cliche, but I'm doing it because I care about you and I want you to feel successful, not only in high school, but also in the real world. It also might sound cliche, but the phrase, "what doesn't kill you makes you stronger," is literally true. You never know what you can do until you actually do it. But you're not alone. You have your peers with you. So I encourage you to ask 3 before me. So seek help from your classmates before you ask me a question. See if they know the answer. See if you can help. They can help you, and maybe you can help them. Okay. Something else I'm also big about is natural consequences. Basically, it is up to you to get the grade that you are satisfied. You do the work, that means you get the grade, and vice versa. You don't do the work, you don't get the grade. Now, speaking of grading, let me ask you a little bit of a question. What is the purpose of school? Well, I believe it is learning, it's understanding, it's progress. Contrary to popular belief, grades are not the end-all, be-all. When you go to a job interview, they're not going to ask you about your grades. They're not going to ask you about your GPA. They want to know about your skills and your abilities. I'm a strong believer that a grade should be a report or an evaluation of skill, not an award just because you turned in an assignment, or a punishment because you didn't turn it in. Now, when you have these assignments and you turn them in, I'm going to look over them. I'm going to give you a chance for feedback and revision. I'm going to let you know what is complete, what is incorrect, and I will give you a chance to complete it or correct it as needed. I don't care if it's late. I want to see what you can do. So there's no penalties for late assignments. And I will reassign those assignments to you if your score is not above an 80. Again, 80 equals mastery. Now, the reason I chose 80 is because in my leadership journey, I learned that if an employee can do a job 80% as well as you or better, then it's time to let them do that job so you can move on to other things. So that's why 80% is mastery for me. Now, if there comes an assignment you are confused about, you are unsure about, ask me. Okay, that's what I'm here for. I'm here to help you grow and learn. But please do not wait until the week before grades are posted to ask for help. Ask for it during the whole time. So a little bit more about the grading policy. Here's my scale. 50 means you didn't turn it in, and you will get no grade less than a 50. Okay, 50 is my 0 basically. 60 to 69 means you turned it in, but it was incomplete or incorrect. Maybe you didn't I felt like you didn't understand. 70 to 79 is halfway complete or understood. 80 to 89, again going back to that mastery, is fully complete or understood. 90 to 100, not only did you complete the assignment, but you went beyond that assignment. So it's complete and beyond. Sometimes the assignments will not have a specific criteria or a specific rubric. It is based on how well I feel you understand and apply the concept, apply the material. I'm not going to force you to do your assignments or keep on pace with assignments. That is totally on you. You need to learn right now how to manage your time and your responsibilities. My assignments shouldn't take you more than a class period to complete. It is up to you to decide if you are going to use your time wisely and productively or not. I will not be extremely sympathetic if you come to me during the last few days before progress reports or report cards asking what you can do to raise your grade. You've had the time to do the assignments and you've chosen not to. Now you have to face the consequences. The real world is the same. If you don't complete the tasks you've been given, you face the consequences, which could include losing your job. There's a quote that I like. I don't know I can't even remember where I got it or even who I said it, but it says, "We should not expect an organization to teach or tell us everything we need to know and do. Rather, our personal responsibility is to learn what we should learn to become positive, contributing members of society." That's what I want for you. You've got to choose to do the learning. It is all on you. All right. So basically, in summary, here's a notice to all students. Okay? Leave excuses at the door. If you didn't understand or don't understand the assignment, just admit it. Ask for help. If you didn't study for the test, accept the grade and resolve to do better next time, with my help if necessary. Again, you can turn things in late. There's no penalty for late assignments being turned in. If you choose not to follow my rules, you must accept the consequences, because this is not a democracy. This is my classroom, and I'm here for one reason and one reason only: to teach you, to inspire you, to help you grow. I will do my part, but the rest is up to you.